Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome all of you back to the fantasy section of Chris's Quictionary. This one is going to be quite funny, to be honest, in retrospect. It is first discussing Chris's infamous Curse-ye-ha-me-ha, illustrated by this demonstration by Chris, with the quality so grainy that it's beginning to warp space and time. When cursing, I feel enraged or really angry. I channel that energy between my hands, gathering them and throwing them towards either the target I'm angry at, or the ground or skyward. A choice of words are optional, but they do seem to add more oomph to the attack. There is no attack, Chris. You're just doing this to people. You're not accomplishing anything. It's just doing something crazy. That's what you do. You're not. If you want to actually channel your rage, Chris, you could do something productive with, feeling pissed off all the time, not whatever this is supposed to be, and screaming at the camera. The Curse-ye-ha-me-ha, also referred to as Shin-ye-ha-me-ha, is the special finishing move of Doom used by Chris when battling his unfortunate adversaries, be they Jerkops, Mana Jerks, Trolls, or Merrily Walsh. It is performed exactly the same way as the famed Kamehameha maneuver used in the anime series Dragon Ball and its sequels, by doing silly choreographed poses and slowly yelling the name of a famous Hawaiian king. It is also possible that Chris was inspired by a scene in Excel Saga, where the characters at one point performed a Nabehameha, a parody of a Kamehameha, named after the series director Shinichi Nabeshin Watanabe. If not directly inspired by Excel Saga, it likely at least caused Chris to think of deriving his own version of this famous attack. Yep, Curse-ye-ha-me-ha track card. Aw man, because I have a girlfriend, I am a big jerk. Yeah, that's totally how that works, isn't it? If you're in any relationship whatsoever, you're immediately a jerk. Choose one of your opponent's male monsters and destroy it. That's very, very specific. If you select a set monster, flip it over. If it is a female monster, she is not destroyed. Equal rights, equal fights, I suppose. And yes, before you ask, Chris has done this in public and actually thinks that he has the power to do this. Yeah, I would say that's where it begins and ends, but unfortunately, there's a lot more to this tale. Execution and effect. In keeping with the Kamehameha maneuver he stole it from, the Curse-ye-ha-me-ha must be delivered slowly, with each syllable deliberately pronounced as the user summons his chi, finally ending with the last ha, and a blast of power followed by a piece for the troll, Jerkop, or Mana Jerk. For optimal results, say it like the second narrator of the audiobook says it. When desired, the Curse-ye-ha-me-ha generally acts as a standard energy blast to vaporize enemies. However, in other situations, the attack has no immediate apparent effects. Yeah, because it doesn't exist. Therein lies the curse. The attacker has subtly hexed the victim, guaranteeing that he will soon suffer unbearable misfortune. While negotiating the production of the Sonic 2 video games with Nintendo, Shigeru Miyamoto informed Chris that curse is considered offensive in Japanese culture, and so all references to the spell have been changed to Shin-ye-ha-me-ha. By August of 2009, Chris had become more willing to revert to the original name with sufficiently angry results. A less theatrical version of the move, the curse shot, is delivered by simply holding out one's hand in the shape of a gun and miming the act of shooting the target. This achieves the same sort of ominous misfortune without requiring several minutes of preparation. Which is handy if you happen to be running away from more security. This may or may not be inspired by Yu Yu Hakusho, another anime series that aired on Cartoon Network, where the main character's signature attack was a similar move known as the Ray Gun, lit the Spirit Gun, on a few occasions. He has performed a variation of this theme using his Megatron pistol. Purpose: Aside from creating the impression that Chris has delusions of godhood, or goddesshood I suppose, the Kamehameha allows him to feel some sense of control over his world. Chris is too weak, stupid, fat, and cowardly to directly act against those who give him stress, but his curses require no effort from him except his own faith in their power. As long as it is impossible to prove the Kamehameha has no effect, Chris can allow himself to believe the universe will ultimately destroy his enemies, giving him a sense of triumph. However, it seems to have two different effects within the comics. First, officially seen in Classic Sonichu Strip 3, Kamehameha seems to be the finishing move similar to Dragon Ball. However, within the same issue in Sub-Episode 1, the move is used on the Jerkeef and is said to lay a curse on someone, unfairly ruining their life, causing the character to slip on a random banana peel, shattering his glasses, and his wife suddenly leaving him because of his smoking habit, taking his children and all his belongings without a court case. Because courts only exist in Quickville in the desired occasion that you just straight up just want to murder people without consequence. Later in the comics, Chris is seen again using the move in a combo attack with his sister's shocking tiara magic. This causes the WM Mana-Jerk's head in a jar to become detached from his robot body. The Mana-Jerk does not seem to be cursed or suffering from random bad luck. The move was simply a finishing move. The move within the comics only seems to be now as more of a finishing move, so its real purpose is up for debate. Not that really anybody would want to debate something like that, but there you go. Yes, he actually does this in public. Verbal combat had started, and during the fight, I ran off, still giving verbal punishment, as well as the finger and many Kamehamehas. I nearly backed up onto him with my car, and I gave him another finger. Then I dashed off, and he admits this over the internet. Good job, Chris. This won't come back to bite you in the ass later. In addition to his performance of the Kamehameha at Walmart, key slanderous trolls have revealed that Chris performed the curse live and in person. In the office of Mary Lee Walsh, resulting in his suspension from PVCC, a documented performance of this attack has been recorded and is shown in this video. Is it shown here? No, I don't think. We'll possibly look at that near the end. Yes, he actually thinks this works. I have learned about the curses actually working firstly when I cursed the real-life Mary Lee Walsh. Then I later heard that her reputation at PVCC went down. Yes, mostly due to my references in the pages. But then things got worse for her. And even though I forgave her for her misdeed on interpreting my sweetheart search, I feel she definitely got what she deserved for her misdeed. Later, I cursed one specific troll, I forget who. Shortly later, I learned that troll came down with a life-threatening ailment. So Chris is going to straight up admit that he's responsible for damaging a woman's career. He didn't. And that he caused somebody to become seriously ill. So could not Chris be, held accountable for voodoo? Was it like voodoo, or I mean, that's the idea of Chris as a witch doctor is a dreadful thought compared to everything else. Chris, 3:30 in the morning, December 15th, 2009, mailbag 18. Chris actually believes he has magic powers to curse people. Chris, as usual, fails. This time with confusing correlation and causation. Just because Mary Lee Walsh's reputation went down, presuming of course that this even happened, it didn't, we only have Chris's extremely biased word to go by. It does not necessarily follow that it's a result of a Kamehameha attack. Especially because we're coming up to 2 years after Mary Lee Walsh's retirement. Doesn't time just fly? This appears to stem from his inflated sense of self-importance, because he sees himself as an innocent man. A very big innocent man, more like. He seems to believe that God has granted him magical powers, with which to curse those who dare wrong him, a good example of his detachment from reality. The following excerpt from the Katie Bay emails describes his process of emitting a Kamehameha. I have learned from my experiences that a curse or a blessing shot is mainly comprised of the respective enraged or caring you are currently feeling. I do not encourage you to do this, but I will tell you from your information. When cursing, I feel enraged or really angry. I channel that energy between my hands, gathering them and throwing them towards either the target I'm angry at, or the ground or skyward. A choice of words are optional, but they do seem to add more oomph to the attack. Chris on summoning metaphysical energy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they also had that in Pokemon. I think it was called like Aura Sphere, I think. But it was mostly comprised by Pokemon like, Lucario. And Chris is in absolutely no way on that sort of level. It must be reiterated that Chris genuinely thinks this works. Known victims. There are always victims when it comes down to these videos, but more so in this case. In the comics, Chris applies the Kamehameha to Mary Lee Walsh and to the Jerkeef, and these stories have reflected the two known public instances, or separate incidents, or purely wishful thinking. The curse seems to have had no effect on Walsh, even in fiction, after being seemingly atomized in sub-episode 3. She simply returned none the worse for wear. On the 15th of January 2009, Chris digitally delivered a Shinyehameha via YouTube to every troll who has contributed to his Encyclopedia Dramatica page and to 4chan. Liquid Chris, the dreaded brown-striped imposter, was on the receiving end of a Kamehameha in a 14th of August 2009 video. His subsequent disappearance was attributed by Solid to the extreme bad luck which resulted from the curse. It didn't, just Liquid was playing into the delusion. However, on the 16th of August 2009, Chris elected to lift the curses he had previously unleashed and perform the Forgiveness Blessing in a video to demonstrate his grace. During his retraction, Chris claimed to have used the curse shot on over 50 men during his love quest. Later on, during that same day, Chris would also specifically retract the curse placed upon Liquid. Okay, fair enough. If Chris somehow managed to curse me, I would somehow like to say that it actually did some good in my life, so Chris had the absolute opposite effect. Maybe that would be the thing to get him to stop doing it. Or maybe if I was around doing this 10 years ago, maybe that would have been something as well. So, take that for what you will. Due to the production of the audiobook videos, DVDs, Chris has cursed Vivian G and anyone involved with the project, including also just straight up telling Vivian G to die. On the 1st of February 2010, Chris cursed Mao Ling, operator of the Asphodesia, in response to a series of offensive advertisements on his Wikipedia. He was later coerced into delivering an insincere forgiveness blessing. I think he sort of like went, and here's a forgiveness blessing. There you go. Which apparently freed all others afflicted with his curses from further humiliation and bad fortune. On the 2nd of March 2010, Chris performed a curse shot on Surfshark Tito, in response to his PSN account being hacked yet again. This comes after Chris said that cursing people was evil and that he would atone for it. Hypocrite. On the 5th of October 2017, in C-Log 4/10/2017 Q&A No More, Chris performed an action resembling the Kamehameha while cursing the entirety of the Kiwi Farms troll form. This is the first known time that Chris has done this since transitioning. On the 2nd of October 2020, Chris actually denied Ben Saint's claims that he cursed Donald Trump, right after news got out that he contracted COVID-19. Chris also said that he prophesied that Trump would not die from the virus. This is despite the fact that in late 2016, Chris was openly praying for people to assassinate Donald Trump or for him to die before he got into office. Which did turn out to be correct, although it's needless to say that Chris had nothing to do with it. goodness knows what would happen if he actually did. Now, just to give you guys a taster as to just how bad this really is, how much of a stinker you might say this all turned out to be. I'm actually going to first have to like plug something in first, and then just deliver to you exactly what Chris intends to do. I really should start like getting into the habit of, you know, taking my headphones out before making these videos. But I know Super Boo here looks already very angry. Is it strange that I've actually never seen Dragon Ball, but I could list off like at least 25 characters? That seems a bit strange, but what can you do? Well, actually, speaking of Dragon Ball, what about Chris's impersonation of Mr. Popo? Can anybody remind me how well that went again? So let's
You are nothing but a beast, a fragile animal.
And you know what? Let's top this off. Right now. No Shin. We're going with the original. Call the police on him. Have a safe day. Stay safe. Peace.
Could you imagine what that must be like to just have Chris screaming? If I did a Kamehameha screaming at nothing, I'm pretty sure my neighbors would be coming around saying that, what the hell was that noise? And so, just before we end off here, because really that's sort of like the bigger video I kind of like want to show you about Chris just screaming inane nonsense. There is the, in a video to just demonstrate the forgiveness blessings. Let's see if, this is apparently Chris inciting forgiveness. And just, I need to turn this up because I want you guys to, understand as well as I do how insincere you have to honestly look. So, here it is. Go nuts.
I take this moment to most everyone I have put a curse upon, either from Kamehameha or simple.
Most of everyone, he says. So, no, he still has so much gripe with just other people. He cannot move on from just about everyone, and they'll continue to bend him round the twist, as they say.
Curse shot. This is for all of you individuals. Forgiveness. Blessings.
Honestly, I could not begin to tell you whether or not he was being insincere or whether or not he was just struggling to hold in from shitting himself. Because I genuinely do not know. Just look at him.
Everybody, have a safe day.
This is despite the fact that he would go later on to basically cursing more people in the future. And so, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I think we should just end this video on this image right here. Because I think this just about explains just about everything. The image of somebody who does this in public, uses it to threaten people, and uses it to proudly proclaim that apparently it caused somebody to be seriously ill. I hope Chris is happy with himself, because I don't particularly think I would have been very happy if he did that to me and I ended up losing a leg or something like that. But with all that being said and done, there is no real like happy ending to this episode. It's just, what can you do? It's just this. It's the further wailings of a madman. And with all that being said and done, I will see all of you guys again in the next video. Should I even have a few issues of Dragon Ball Z. The more I think about it, and I still haven't read them yet, and I can name a lot of the characters. It's crazy.